Nobody can stop me, nobody can hold me, nobody control me.
Welcome back to the MVP's Lounge. I'm your host, The King, and we're here to review NXT. NXT is back. We're on the go home show to NXT Battleground. So let's go over what happened tonight. First, Ethan Page pulls up in his fancy car, and he is welcomed by a bunch of security and Ava, who tells him, hey, are you ready to sign your contract? And he's like, yeah, man, let's go. Let's go inside and go get this thing. Let's get that pen to paper. They go over a recap of what happened last week with Jordan Grace showing up, Ethan Page taking out Trick, Gallus Boys pulling up. Yeah, it's been a action-packed 2 weeks so far. And Battleground is right around the corner. Jordan Grace starts out the show with her NXT debut against Stevie Turner, a young up-and-comer off of NXT Level Up. Jordan Grace is sporting a jacket that on the back says NXTNA. So that's probably something that's going to come up in the future. I'd love a NXT TNA pay-per-view or special show or whatever they got planned, but it'd be fire to have that. During this match, Stevie, she shows off some moves. Like she's got some talent going. I never really saw any of her work on NXT Level Up, but I might go back and check some of her matches out just because she showed some pretty impressive moves during this match. But Grace was really the star of this match. She was like a whole freak athlete. If you haven't seen any of her matches, I do go recommend to see some because like, she's literally a freak of nature, and like even though Stevie got some moves off, she was pretty much dominated by Grace, and Grace gets her first W in an NXT arena. Roxanne was on commentary, and as soon as the match was over, she came into the ring, held her belt up, and then shoved Grace, but then Grace shoved her pretty much out of existence, and Roxanne had to dip and escape. I'm not sure Roxanne is gonna be able to survive come Battleground, because yeah, Grace is seems like 3 times the size of Roxanne. We pan to the outside where Lash is speaking with Trick, and she pretty much tells him, hey, I'm going to put our relationship on hold because she has to focus on winning that North American title. Trick says he understands, and he's going to go handle business with Ethan Page. It's unfortunate. It seems like anything that happens in that parking lot is always bad. Like, I don't think anything good has happened in that NXT parking lot. They pass a vignette over of Shawn Spears talking to some young talent, with also the young OG, Javon Evans, being there. And he's trying to instill some wisdom and tell them they should go come under his wing and he can teach them the way. But then Josh Briggs pulls up and it's like, yo, you're not teaching them anything. Like, all you're trying to do is brainwash these people into thinking what your way matters. And then Shawn is like, hey, listen, I'm just trying to put the misguided souls over. I'm trying to show them who they truly are. And coming from you, who is a person who doesn't even know who he is, you should understand. And I was like, crap, that's kind of crazy because Josh Briggs is just a blank canvas at the moment. Like, we don't even know who this dude is. He just happened to be approached by JBL, and we ain't never went anywhere with that. He's been just a regular guy. So Shawn Briggs is right about that. We get A women's North American Championship Summit. Jada Parker, Kaylani Jordan, Mia Yim, Sol Ruka, Fallon Henley, and Lash Legend all in the ring with Booker T heading the summit. We hear from each woman in this match. Honestly, besides Jada and Lash, everyone sounded real bland. Like bland toast bland. And it was not good at all. It wasn't a good showing on the mic skills from them. But again, over time they'll improve. But for right now, besides Jada and Lash, everyone else was a piece of bland toast. But after some squabbles on the mic, they started to squabble in the ring. Book dipped out the ring faster than you could see anybody in their life. And after the brief battle, they booked a 6-woman tag team match for later on. So call out Teddy Long because we get a tag team match. Next up, we get Thea Hill versus Jasmine Nix. Apparently, Riley and Duke were supposed to stay in the back, and Ridge Holland and only Andre Chase was supposed to go out there with her. But halfway through the match, when Thea had momentum, Riley Osborne and Duke came down through the arena way, and that pretty much distracted Thea, and she held a Pele kick to the face and also held an L. So she's been racking up L's like crazy right now. We're at a merch truck outside somewhere. I'm not sure where this location was at, but Axiom and Nathan were in it, and then they get pulled up on by Gallows and Anderson, who like destroy them pretty much. Like this is like literally just like a week before their match for the tag titles, and them dudes just get mollywopped, stomped out, thrown into the truck. So as of right now, Gallows and Anderson are on top, looking strong going into that match. So we're supposed to have a match between Shawn Spears and Josh Briggs, but instead, as Josh Briggs' music was playing, Shawn Spears pulled up on him right in the entranceway, like right before he gets out, leaving there dead. But who pulls up from behind? Javon Evans and his wife beater and camo pants. And Frank made a quote to this when we were watching the show. He was like, yeah, Shawn Spears ain't never been to the hood, because once Javon Evans started, pulling up his pants, you already knew hands was about to start getting thrown, and Shawn Spears did not know. So Javon pulls up on Shawn. They start throwing hands. They get to the ring. Shawn's trying to fight him off and gets to the outside. Javon goes for a suicide dive, literally almost crashing over the table. And he hits him with a back body drop on the table. Shawn Spears crawls back into the ring, and then the young OG soars into the air and hits him with a smooth cutter. And the young OG stands tall. We might get a Shawn Spears and Javon Evans feud going, and I'm here for it. We get a Heritage Cup match between Damon Kemp, the nigga that I hate, despise with all my passion, against Tony D'Angelo. The first 2 minutes into this match or so, Damon Kemp gets hit with the forget about it, and Tony D gets the first fall. Then the next pinfall or false pinfall isn't until the third round, where Kemp got him up for a suplex and landed him on his head. And before he can get the 3 count, the end of the round happened. So the Don was dazed. It was still 1-0. And at the start of the very next round, Tony hits him with the spine buster, big spine buster at that, which he should change his finisher to, and gets the pin off that. So it was a clean sweep for Tony D'Angelo on Damon Kemp. We then get a vignette for Lola versus Shayna, in their NXT Underground match at Battleground, who I have Lola getting the dub here for that. Hopefully they let them find the octagon that they have in that arena, because that'd be fire. They really should let them use the octagon. We get Izzy Dame versus Natalya for some reason. I don't think anybody really cared about this match. Izzy Dame made it like an even matchup, but Natalya rolls her up. That's kind of it. Like it wasn't. I didn't really care for this match. The two black dudes is what we're gonna call them, not Idris Elba and Malik Blade, but the other two new ones that wear Timbs into the ring. Those two dudes got stomped out by Gallus because they were supposed to have a match, and Gallus was like, "Nah, we ain't having none of this." Stomped them two dudes out. They were calling out Oba. Oba pulls up. Then Wes Lee pulls up, and Wes is like, "Nah, he's gonna get his championship back." And Joe Coffey is like, "Nah, bro, y'all getting stomped out right now." And Oba, he's always for the smoke. And Gallus starts pulling up on Oba, gets him in the corner, and Wesley tries to assist, but unfortunately, the numbers are just too much for them. And the Gallus boys stomp out Oba and Wesley, leave him dead in the ring. Discus clothesline from Joe to Wes. And then, actually, not discus clothesline to Oba. And then Wesley gets dropped with the Gallus boys on top, tag team finish. So Gallus looks strong going into that pay-per-view. I don't see Joe Coffey winning it. I think Oba still retains at the pay-per-view though. But we'll go over our predictions with the next video. We get a 6-woman tag match between Jada, Soul, and Mia Yim against Kaylani, Lash, and Fallon. Both sides could not agree at all. They could not come to terms with tag teaming and working together. Jada and Mia Yim pretty much was like slapping each other to get their tags in and weren't cooperating. And then Lash and Fallon weren't agreeing, and Kaylani and Fallon already got heat with each other already as it is. So that team wasn't working out, but Jada, Soul, and Mia Yim pretty much worked out better than that side. And when Lash literally kicked Kaylani outside of the ring, Soul Ruka pulled up with the Soul Snatcher, caught her lacking, and got the W. We're now in the main event of the show, the contract signing for Ethan Page, because he said instead of doing it in the back, he'd rather sign his first contract for NXT in front of the people. So Ethan Page arrives at the table with Ava, and he said there's a big void right now in the men's division, and whatever's in that contract, she has to sign. Like, she has to sign it because she's got no choice right now. The men's division is lacking, and she needs all ego Ethan Page. Out comes Trick, telling her to sign, make sure she signs the contract. She was hesitant because she's like, there's a lot in this contract that she doesn't want to just agree to immediately, and Trick doesn't care. And she tells him in this match, or in this contract, it states that Ethan Page gets a title match at Battleground if she signs it. And Trick doesn't care. He doesn't care at all. He's like, listen, by the end of the day, Ethan Page thinks he's going to get his NXT title, but all he's going to be hearing is whoop that Trick when he's laying on the mat. But Ethan Page disagrees. He's saying he's going to take over NXT, and the whoop that era is going to end. And as she signs the contract, Ethan Page, Trick stare each other down, and that's the end of NXT before Battleground. I'm liking it. And I'm loving it. We will be seeing a whole lot more of everyone on this show this coming Sunday for NXT Battleground. You will be getting our prediction video probably either later today or on Saturday. But with that being said, Thank you for joining me today in the MVP's Lounge. Wow, I'm stumbling on my words. Thank you for joining me today in the MVP's Lounge. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next time. The MVPs are out.
You must be sleeping under a rock or something.